This video will demonstrate how to play the piece Ode to Joy. This piece is written on the grand staff. A grand staff is a treble clef and a bass clef bracketed together so that each measure includes two staves going by, two staves I should say. And the grand staff is used for two-handed music. So we see it very often in piano and in harp and in mallet instruments like the xylophone. Anything that uses two hands is more than likely going to use a grand staff. So this will be the first piece in Fundamentals of Music that you will play using both hands at the same time. So we'll want to be sure before we start that both hands are in the correct position so that once again we know where they are. We won't have to move our hands around once we've established the fingers and the notes that each one should play. We'll start with the right hand first, noticing that the right hand is going to start on finger 3, which is our middle finger, on the E immediately above middle C. Once again, here's middle C, the C in the middle of the keyboard, and we are starting with the third finger on the E right above. The left hand starts on the E below middle C, also with a third finger. And the nice thing about this piece involving both hands is that when we play hands together, they will always do the same thing. That's not always going to be true, of course, but for our first piece with hands together, we'll kind of start easy and the hands will be playing the same notes. Now, they won't be playing with the same fingers. You'll see as we go up that I will play the same note names, but in my right hand I'm playing middle ring pinky, and in my left hand I'm playing middle index thumb. So it'll take a little coordination, but it'll help to know that you should be playing the same notes in both hands. One final thing that I'll point out before we jump into the demonstration is that in the second line, last measure, we see quarter notes tied to eighth notes. In the first line and last line, last measures, we see quarter notes with a dot. And this is done intentionally so that you can notice as you play through this piece that those rhythms, even though they look different on the page, will sound exactly the same. So here we go, a demonstration of Ode to Joy, double-handed piano music on a grand staff. Here it is. Now I hope you noticed in that performance that on the third line, where the left hand doesn't have very much to do, I left my hand on the keys. It might be tempting to just let that hand go away and drop down, but if you do that, you're going to have to look down and use some brain power to figure out where it belongs again. So you'd be much better off just letting your left hand remain in its position and just simply not playing anything until the end of the line where the notes come back.